Now, when you were growing up, since it's December, I thought I would ask some questions about Christmas. Can you describe Christmas on the farm? Was there anything that you remember that was especially unique or interesting?
As far as myself, the one thing that I will never forget, when it come to Christmas Eve or Christmas Eve Day, for me and for what happened for us, it was a time you spent and you did a little bit extra for your livestock. And I will never forget leaving the barn Christmas Eve, and you couldn't help but do, before you shut the lights off, you'd say Merry Christmas to your livestock. And then of course Christmas Day you were back down there, and it was just like a new day. And
Probably our special Christmas Day was the year Jay was born.
Oh, yeah.
He was born on Christmas
That's
Day,
right.
so.
That's pretty memorable, I guess.
Best Christmas present Bob ever had, he said.
And it was the last one like that. But, can you remember when you were growing up as kids, do you remember any especially wonderful Christmas presents that you received that you remember as that one special year where you got that, I don't know, bike or whatever it would be?
the thing that I remember most about that, I was probably maybe about 7 or 8 years old, and at Christmas Eve Day, we were outside. All three of us boys were outside and helping do chores and getting kind of ready for Christmas Eve. And that Christmas Eve day, my older brother had been kind of mean to me and kind of nasty to me. And I said to him, when I come in the house, I was so disgusted with him and that, and I wasn't going to give him a Christmas present and stuff and that. I was just so disappointed and disgusted with him. Well, about 9:30, 10 o'clock in the evening, Christmas Eve, here then, Mother decided that we should open our Christmas presents and that. And so my older brother hadn't had time to wrap his gifts and stuff, and so he brought them downstairs and went and put them underneath the tree. And then I don't know where I was, but I was called to come in the room and where the Christmas tree was and that. And so then here, my oldest brother he brings over a gift to me. And I just was all in tears and stuff and that. Here I got a little toy John Deere combine and the box and everything, brand new one. And I'll tell you, my heart just dropped right out of me because I felt so bad. I had been so nasty to my brother that day. And here I got presented by a real nice toy combine that I always would have wanted. And I got so disgusted with myself that after we were kind of done, I went over and I asked Mother, I said, Mom, I said, have you got something I could wrap up for Norris? I said. So she went and found a brand new red handkerchief. So I wrapped it all up and then I brought her over to him. That was one of my things I never forgot.
It's a nice story. Can you think of anything that you...
I'm not thinking of anything in particular.
Do you think, and do you have any comments today about what kids get? I know sometimes you watch shows and they talk about how at least some years they mention that sometimes kids get a lot more than they did in the past. I know we've been, like I said, reading the Laura Ingalls Wilder books, and some years she would get like a tin cup, an orange, and a few other things, and then, of course, you think, well, that's not very much, and yet she seemed to be happy. So I guess to some extent it's what your expectations are. But do you think that today kids have fairly high expectations, maybe unrealistic expectations, as far as the material goods that they're going to get under the Christmas tree?
Well, I think kids nowadays just have so much more stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And their expectations, I think, are high because, you know, actually we have to admit that our children are well taken care of. They're provided with many of the things that they want as well, more than what they need.
I'd have to agree with that. I think it's something that just has to take time to learn to totally understand a little bit more as far as
The real meaning of Christmas.
right. So that's what I would agree with that.